really discuss the NCAA adding flag football as a sport, you would have to discuss the growth at the high school level and how it's kind of taken off. Especially in Arizona, I know that Hamilton has like one of the best teams in the country.
Exactly.
I would definitely dive into that and maybe go interview the Hamilton coach and ask him.
Because the one supports the other. If it's growing in the high schools,
Yeah,
the colleges are gonna have,
more opportunities.
they're gonna be able to recruit athletes
Yeah.
to play flag football at the University of Arizona or wherever.
But are those high school teams?
Because,
I
but
think,
it's,
listen, I think
but it's
opinions are great.
important that,
Do we want numbers?
to Harry's point, yes.
So, the 2-hour broadcast for the championship game, July 2025, averaged 619,000 viewers.
What championship game?
That was the NFL's flag championship game,
Okay.
which reached in total 7.7 million, but that was the average viewership throughout. The girls' high school championship game averaged 766,000 viewers, which was outperforming the boys' championship game, which was a couple 100,000 viewers less. In total, they're seeing 65% increases year over year in terms of engagement. So I do think the numbers reflect that there's growing interest, right? So to that
So
point.
that's not the argument. We're just trying to develop story ideas here. The numbers are important, absolutely. More numbers you can find, the more data to explain and help readers understand this is. You said it's going up 60%, that's a big number. You want those numbers in your story, okay?
68,000.
So we're not here to argue whether or not the whole NFL thing. But I had to challenge Seth on that because I know how women would react and I don't blame them. Seth, go
I
ahead.
also only mentioned the NFL because you had already brought up the Olympics, and that was the other kind of prong of that response was, it's less talking directly about the Olympics or the NFL, and it's more talking about the game itself on a national like stage. It doesn't matter, like, because realistically, it doesn't matter who's presenting the game. At the end of the day, we're watching the same game, and if you enjoy watching the game, you're gonna go and you want to go play the game. You want to go play the game. It doesn't matter who's playing. It doesn't matter who's giving, like, who's showing it or anything like that. So like, just saying.
I think it's very optimistic thinking.
Yes, and I would still stick to the point that if you're gonna do that, you need to finesse it, so that it doesn't, the men don't overwhelm the original angle of women's flag football. Addison.
I think it would be important to kind of look into the process of becoming a Division I sport, or like how a team or a university goes through that, like the interest level, like what interest level they need to see, and like if there's groups of people on these like campuses or at high schools who are pushing for that stuff, and like what they've done to like.
So you might do a whole, like, a little sidebar with ASU.
Yeah.
Those are the questions that would get answered. What's the process? And is there any interest? Is anyone pushing? Are they even considering it? All those types of questions could be just what we call a sidebar on just ASU and their approach to having a women's flag football team.
I think you have to have at least 20 roster players. You have to have like a faculty or something with them.
Point being, there's questions that we need to answer for the reader.
And
There's
then
a lot of whys.
to achieve NCAA championship status, you have to have at least 40 schools compete.
Okay. Harry, then Charlie.
The emerging sport as, like, in the NCAA, is that only for women's flag football, or is that?
It's
Just
for
both.
a bunch of sports. So like,
But like
if
men's
there's a
too.
sport that's up and coming, I think like lacrosse is one of them.
Okay.
They'll put them into that category of emerging sports. It gives them time. If you can get enough teams together, okay, you'll.
You become a
They're
champion.
showing interest in developing it as a NCAA
Yes.
level sport.
So they're still considered a varsity sport. Like they receive funding, they get scholarships, they have coaches, like travel, like all that stuff. They just don't have a championship game.
Right.
So.
Charlie.
Is it only women's
Yes.
flag football?
Wait, what do you mean?
Like no men's flag football?
No.
Oh, I did
It's
say.
college level.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, so, Jason, did you start the story? You wanna pipe in what and end it up for us, or is it?
I just think flag football is a fast-growing sport. It's gonna be in the Olympics, and
Okay. So,
I wanted to like talk about that, and this tournament here.
Okay, but, yes, the tournament is worth noting. I don't think
Yeah.
you mentioned it, did you?
I was going
In
to,
your
but I
pitch.
felt like I talked about how ASU hasn't really acknowledged them, but yet they still wanna play on their field, but won't make them.
So- That's the story
Yeah.
that I noticed this past week. I wasn't aware of this emerging sports list thing, but I was aware of the story about them having this tournament in Phoenix for, women's flag football teams. How many teams were there? 12 or 16 or something?
For the tournament?
Yeah. Anyway, it's the first time that anyone's done this, so that was a good timely news hook for the story, which then did any of you see that story? See that headline? Just one.
I see it now.
Good. Okay, well, that's not good.
Flag football team.
You should have seen that story, you should have been aware of that story. Okay, so right off the bat, kudos to you two. Okay, you gotta notice what's going on, it's a timely story. Should have seen that story and you should have said, that's interesting. That might be interesting, that might be worth pitching. That's how you have to start thinking. There's one other, thing